Hey folks, I've gotten a few emails lately about how to deal with loneliness, and loneliness is a perennial problem for human beings. It's not just caused by certain situations in the world and stuff. It's always there. I think it's a very deep problem, something that may be deeper than we could probably imagine. At least this is my little theory. I've always had a particular problem myself with loneliness because I'm not, much of a people person. I'm not much of the, I'm not this kind of person who's very gregarious and has a lot of friends and can, kind of call up anybody on the spot or just go somewhere and hang out with people. Never been like that, never at all. So often I've had to deal with deep, profound loneliness. This is especially true when I was living in Japan. For the first year I was living there, they sort of, when you're on the JET program, that's Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, they kind of set you up with a cohort of ready-made friends. So my first year was pretty easy, but my second year when I moved to Tokyo and I didn't know anybody, that was deeply, deeply difficult. And the few friends I had were Japanese, and my Japanese language skills weren't that great. So, I was alone a lot of the time. So that's something I kind of know well. Last night at the Angel City Zen Center, aczc.org, you can go there for information about all of our meetings several times a week, and our retreat the first weekend of November, and our Halloween party on Saturday. Good plug there. Anyway, at our talk yesterday, the person who's speaking yesterday, Kat, brought in this article by Dainin Katagiri called Alone in the Vastness of Existence. She said it was in this book, The Light That Shines Through Infinity, but I just looked through it just now and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if she's wrong or if I just wasn't able to find it. But I'm going to read you a little bit of what Dainin Katagiri has to say. Here's what he has to say. Originally, we are completely vastness. In the vastness of the universe, there is no dichotomy, no discrimination. There is perfect peace and harmony. Philosophically speaking, this is called emptiness. Sometimes vastness is personalized, and it's called Buddha. If you experience that emptiness, it's called Buddha nature. Plainly speaking, it is universal consciousness. Before you start to think, your life is already present there. So if you want to realize the truth of life, all you have to do, as best as you can, is stand up straight and start to walk. Then Katagiri Roshi tells the story of Tozan, who had a kind of an awakening experience upon seeing his reflection in the water, and he wrote a little poem about it. But I'm going to read Katagiri Roshi's commentary on the poem instead of the poem. Before your individual thoughts, feelings, or perceptions arise, and you reflect on yourself, wondering who or what you are, something is already there. Something is already alive. What is it? We call it big self, real self, or true self, but actually it is the vastness of existence. In Buddhist philosophy, we say emptiness. When you hear the word emptiness, it seems to be something fascinating, kind of a puzzle. But emptiness is not a puzzle. It's something true. Something is happening there. I like that stuff. I like just about anything. Well, so far everything I've ever read by Dainin Katagiri I've liked a lot. He was one of the most brilliant teachers, and I highly recommend any of his books if you want to try to understand Buddhism in general. But about this idea of loneliness, here's my little pet theory, and I'm almost kind of reluctant, well, I am reluctant, to put it out there on this video because I think it's sort of Brad's pet theory. And I had to think hard about whether I wanted to say it, and I decided to say it. Here goes. One of my pet theories about the universe is reading all this stuff about universal oneness and having some, experiences related to that in my practice. It occurs to me that if the entire universe is just one, if there's just one mind that is the entire universe, and when Buddhists say one mind that is the entire universe, they're not separating mind from body, so that's an important distinction between sort of dualistic idea of mind as the universe and the Buddhist idea of mind as the universe. The universe is also my hand and this computer and everything, but if that's all one mind, okay, let's go there. Maybe the entire reason the universe exists at all is loneliness. Maybe because this one mind became lonely, the one mind decided to split itself in two so that it could look at itself objectively. And then that turned out, pretty well. It had a little bit of company, so it split itself into two again. Then there were 4, then there were 8, then there were 16, then there were 32, and then my math gets bad, so I can't go on. But after a while, there's billions and billions of living entities that the mind can converse with and can interact with and can have friends around it and enemies around it and all sorts of interactions. In other words, can relieve its primordial loneliness. So perhaps when we feel lonely, we're kind of touching something very, very deep, much deeper even than human existence itself, something that's foundational to everything that exists throughout this vast cosmos, including galaxies and quarks and black holes and what have you. That's my little pet theory. And because that's my pet theory, it's become a little easier to deal with loneliness. Occasionally, I think maybe the first time even that I had that thought, I was like, ooh, terrified by it, because there's this terrific loneliness out there, and it's kind of inescapable. Everything is ultimate loneliness. But on the other hand, the loneliness is also a kind of deep sense of peace and abiding and stability and even power, you could say. There's a lizard over there, and he's really cute. I keep getting distracted by this cute lizard on the rock over there getting some sun. Anyway, so these times when in my life I've had to face, terrific loneliness of just not having any friends to talk to or anybody to call up. All the friends that I have, the 3 friends that I would feel comfortable calling up, which is, I'm not even exaggerating, that's about how much it is at any given time in my life now and most of the time in the past. If those 3 people are all busy or unavailable, or for some reason I can't go hang out with them, then I'm stuck by myself, and you can get into sort of artificial reliefs of loneliness, like you can watch television or get on the internet or these kind of things, and they work for a little while, but you're still kind of stuck by yourself at the end of your interaction with those things. And how do you deal with that? And I can't tell you the final answer that's gonna completely fix loneliness for you. What's worked for me is to be comfortable with loneliness. Just be comfortable with the fact that here I am and I'm by myself right now, and this is how it is. But I also know that ultimately I'm not alone. I mean, not this body-mind is never alone, because there's all this vast universe out there that supports me and that is me and that is an extension of who I am at the most basic fundamental level. And we're talking some kind of deep Buddhist philosophy when we get in there, so I hope I'm not alienating all of my audience by going there. But I think that's where it really settles, is on a kind of primordial aloneness that the feeling of not wanting to be alone, as I said, may be the foundation of the universe itself. But on the other hand, that feeling of being alone is the foundation of the universe itself, and as such is something kind of beautiful and warm and in its way a kind of expression of love, if we want to go that direction with it. I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of rambling on this video, so I hope that had some kind of use for some of you who might be suffering from loneliness. And if you're suffering from loneliness, my email address is always on the bottom of these videos, bw@hardcorezen.info. Send me an email. I write back to pretty much everybody who writes me, as long as they're not extremely rude or something. So just try it out. Reach out. Maybe we'll talk. Or maybe somebody else will talk. And things will be okay, because loneliness isn't eternal, even though it is kind of eternal. Maybe. I don't know. that's all I got to say. If you want to donate to help me be not alone because you're someone other than me, but ultimately you're just me, anyway, you can send a donation to the address you're seeing on the screen. That is my main way of making a living, and I really appreciate those donations. If you're having big financial problems and stuff, don't donate to me. Things are reasonably stable. I'm hanging on with my skin of my teeth and everything, but not desperate yet, and that's because so many of you keep donating little bits and pieces here and there, and that helps. So thank you very much. Have a good time all the time. See you later.